Hi. Just adjusting my lighting. There we go. Cold. I've not got the fire lit tonight, so I'm cold. Well, hello everybody, or hello anybody who's happened to be here. I'm going to put my gloves on because I'm cold. So I don't know whether I've got anybody here. Oh, I've got one person here. Hello, one person, whoever you may be. Didn't think I'd have anybody with it being Christmas Eve. Thought you'd all be busy, cooking your mince pies and putting your carrots out. Hi, Sue, what's knitting? Hi, Esther. You're cold and wrapped up. Yeah, it's not very warm. I haven't got the fire lit tonight, so it's not very warm here. Hi, Chrissy. Just trying to prepare myself, get my gloves on. Purple, as you see. I'm a study in purple tonight. Just so Father Christmas will know it's me. He wouldn't know it was me if I wasn't wearing if I wasn't wearing purple, he wouldn't know it was me, would he? Hi, Amanda. Oh, I'm warming up a tad. I've got me coffee. My Los Angeles mug, courtesy of Z. And I've got something in my eye, which is a good start. Oh, I found it. There it is. It's one of my hairs. My hair's dropping out for fun. I just celebrated by spilling coffee all over my keyboard. So that was a very good start, wasn't it? Never mind. Well, are you all ready? Have you all got your mince pies in the oven and everything? And what have you got and things? I'm really not ready. I'm not in the mood. Not in the mood at all, at all, at all. I've got my crocheting. Well, yeah, the bit I've been doing. I've got that here. Hi, Tammy. Hi, Amanda. To try and pin it together, see if I can get myself in the mood. I'm using some old wool that was 3rd ours and it just pulls apart. It's absolute rubbish. You can tell why they discontinued it, can't you? That's what it's called. It's called Big Softy. Sirdar Big Softy. And every time you touch it, it just, when you're crocheting with it, if you tug a little hard on it, that's what happens. It just pulls apart. Fabulous stuff. How anybody knitted with it, I don't know. But I crocheted with it just to make a martyr out of myself. I don't like knots in the middle of things, but I'm afraid I had to do knots because, I'm on the edge with what I've got as far as wool's concerned. Well, as far as whatever's concerned. No, I'm not feeling it at all. It's not the same. Now I don't go to my family anymore. They've all moved and gone to, well, they're going to London and different places. It's not the same anymore. I'm using part of that in with it as well, the James C. Brett Masquerade Chunky. This is quite nice. This isn't rubbish. It's just the Sirdar Big Softy that's rubbish, which is strange because normally Sirdar is pretty good with anything they make. So I'm surprised that quality control let this stuff go through. And besides which, it's got big, thick and thin lumps in it. So you're crocheting away and you come across this big lump. So I've got texture in my crochet. In other words, I've crocheted the lumps in. No, I'm just not feeling it at all this year. Not at all. Right, let's get me act together. Yeah, I'll pin my bits together with my big pins. Hi, Pauline. Happy Christmas. If you're feeling more Christmassy than the rest of us. should say happy Christmas to everybody, shouldn't I? Yeah. I'm using my little clippers. That's what I use. Can't use pins because pins, I tend to lose them in the crocheting, especially if it's thick like this. So I use my big clippers to clip things together while I stitch them together. Because as you know, I'm a bit sort of OCD about matching up the stripes and stuff like that. When I see people's work, you're not in the mood, neither of us are in the mood. We're just wishing each other happy Christmas, just to be polite, I think, aren't we, this year? Yeah, I'm a bit OCD about matching stripes up. I can't do with when I finish. Oh, hello, Squirrel Raid, you're all early today, aren't you? Or is it me that's late? Hi, Nana Michelle. You know, when I see people's crocheting or knitting, and when you get to the front and the stripes don't match up, you know, I feel like saying, take it apart, redo it. It doesn't look right. So I have to match them up, in other words, yeah. So you'll have to excuse me if I've got my head down for a bit because I'm just pinning, or whatever you want to call it, clipping my things together. I'm hoping to get myself back in the mood to do a bit of crocheting. The thing is, I haven't been over to my shed, so I haven't seen any nice yarn that might get me. Hi, Chris. Get me in the mood, but I'm not. It's nothing only rain. It's absolutely throwing it down again tonight. I was in charge of the dogs because they went to watch a pantomime, and I did try to put them out for a wee, but they were very reluctant, and I don't blame them. I don't think I'd want to go out into the yard and have a wee if it was raining so hard. So it'll be like a swamp again tomorrow. So that's why I haven't been out to the shed, because it's like wading through swampland. We paid, God knows how many thousands to have the garden with drains in. So goodness knows what it would have been like before we had the drains put in. But, and I can't blame the sea, because it's not the sea. It's the rain, the drumming rain. As people who live in Fleetwood have said, why did you move here? When you had all the world to choose to live in, why did you come to Fleetwood? And I'm like, I don't know. Given my time over again, I wouldn't have come. It's nice for a time in the summer. A short amount of time in the summer, it's nice. Rest of the time, no. It's cold, it's wet, and it's raining. We don't get much ice and snow here. Apparently it's something to do with the salt in the air. Oh, good evening, Nathan. Something to do with the salt in the air that keeps away the ice and snow, so it doesn't keep the rain away. I think we should get a huge umbrella put over the whole of Fleetwood. An umbrella cloud, how about that? So have you all got your mince pies ready and your whatever? You've got your carrots for the reindeers and everything. I mean, we've got no kiddies anymore here, so there's none of that goes on here. My son and daughter-in-law have been to a pantomime, but it wasn't my son's thing at all. Snow White. You need to do some Christmas shop. Oh, you've got the rest of the day, haven't you? Forget. I'm just going to say it's 9:15 here, so it's a bit late to do any Christmas shopping here. Unless you might find, well, we call them an off license. I don't know what you might call them. A place that sells booze. Oh, I've just dropped my needle on the floor. And I don't know where it's gone. I'll pick it up later. As long as the dogs don't step on it. But it is a blunt needle. It's a sewing up needle. It's not a sharp needle. So this should be fun, trying to sew up with this stuff that falls apart. Yeah. Oh, you're just doing dollars? You got my email address, have you, Nana Michelle? Just kidding. I don't have my PayPal address underneath. Somebody asked me the other day if I was doing that Ko-fi. I did it for a little while, but you know, where somebody buys you a coffee. But it did feel a little like begging, so I didn't do it for long. I think I only got about 3 cups of coffee bought me anyway. So I wouldn't have got rich off that, would I? Yeah. It sounded like a good idea at the time where people like love you so much they buy you a coffee, but it didn't work out that way. And I just felt like I was begging, so. If I'm going to beg, I'll put my cup out and well, I can't sing. I've just got to say I'll sing on the street corner, but that wouldn't get me any shekels at all. People would probably pay me to go and sing on another street corner. What I miss, like me sing that, can you get your ears tested, Chris? What I really miss is the fact that, you know, like YouTube. Oh, hey, Connie. YouTube won't let you have any little music playing. You'd think that they would let you have a few carols or something, wouldn't you? You know, it's Christmas, for goodness sake. You know, like Christmas spirit. But everybody is in it for money. Oh, hi, Barbara. Hi, Lulu. Everybody's in it for money, I suppose. So everybody wants their royalties and their pennies and their what have you got. You think with all the money these stars have, you know, for their Christmas songs and that, you think that they would say, oh, well, go on then. For Christmas Day, it doesn't matter, yeah. Oh, I love me purple. I nearly bought. If I hadn't have been in so much agony, I think I would have gone into the bedding shop when I went shopping on Thursday. They had a complete purple bed set in the window. And I was like, oh. And I said to my friend, drag me past, don't let me buy it. I said, I don't need another bedding set. Like I need another bedding set, like I need a hole in the head, yeah. But it was all purple. It was this colour. And it was gorgeous. But I was like, no. But fortunately, my back was, so I wanted to go home. I did not want to go in the shop, much as I was tempted. There's no saying I won't go back after Christmas because it was 50% off. But I don't really need another bedding set. I really don't. So that would have just been pure greed just because it was purple. No cars, no, not yet, no. I mean, she's got all of her daughters, so they might all be, you know, doing something for Christmas Eve. I'm surprised, like, a lot of people in the UK are around because you've got purple. I love purple. I just absolutely adore purple. Red's my next favourite, but I wouldn't have red bedding. I've never been tempted into red bedding. But definitely, my ex-husband, it had to be totally masculine, like black and white. So the first thing I did when he left, I got flowers. It was like my act of defiance. I went out and bought a bedding set with flowers. Yeah. Are you waiting for Santa? Oh, the kids to go to sleep. Oh, and they don't, do they? They don't go to sleep. And even if they've gone to sleep, you have to make sure they're asleep, don't you? Because otherwise they sneak and you hear them spluttering about and you think, oh no, they're up. So you have to go to the bottom of the stairs, say, what do you want? I want a drink of water. No, you don't. Father Christmas won't come if you're having a drink of water. No, go to sleep. I do miss all of that. You know, I don't think it's the same, is it, when your kids have grown up? You know, I miss all of that. You know, the sort of excitement when they come down the stairs. My son would never come down on his own. For a long time, he would never go down on his own. I don't know whether he thought the big scary man was still going to be there, but he wouldn't come downstairs on his own. So he would come downstairs, take a peek in the lounge, and then he would come flying back upstairs to wake us both up and say, "You have to get up, you have to get up. Father Christmas he's been, you have to get up." And we're like, "Oh God, yes. Yes, we were up till 2 o'clock waiting for you to go to sleep. We know Father Christmas has been, yeah." Oh, this isn't a jacket, this is a shawl. I used to make them when I used to get the yarn from Ice. Every row is a different texture, a different. It's just a basic granny square, granny triangle, I should say. But I used to use all different kinds. But I don't have ice yarn anymore, so this one is mine. So I'm not parting with it. The blouse underneath that somebody thought I'd knitted, I think it was Donna thought I'd knitted. It's one I bought at eBay special. Yeah. I have got a purple jacket similar to this, but I've lost a lot of weight, so it's rather big. The beauty of shawls is that, you know, no matter how much weight you put on or how much weight you lose, you can still fit in your shawl. It's a bit like the old joke, isn't it? You know, I can still fit in my school tie, yeah. Yeah. I haven't got anything left of my school years. I was so glad to leave. Not that I had any bad experiences, I didn't. I wasn't bullied or anything like that. But when I was leaving, people were saying, "Can I have your tie? I've lost mine. Can I have your hat? I've lost mine. Can I have your hockey stick? I've lost mine." So I came home on the last day, minus everything nearly I possessed that was school uniform. And my mother's like, "Where's your hat? Where's your tie? Where's your hockey stick?" And I'm like, "I gave them away." You know, I don't know why my mother would have thought that I wanted to keep them from nostalgia. I don't know. I suppose people do keep their school ties and things, don't they? I couldn't wait to get out of uniform. Couldn't wait. And I still can't comfortably wear navy blue. It's funny, isn't it? Navy blue was my school uniform, and I still don't like it. You know, when I started work, you know, and oh, got something in my eye. When I started work, and you know, back then it was all the straight skirts, wasn't it? And my mother bought me a navy blue, and I could have killed her. I'm not so sure about Blind Kill. Are you a knitter or a crocheter, or have you just come on for the heck of it? Anybody know Blind Kill? Oh, it's got something in my eye. It's probably fluff off my wool, isn't it? Fluff off this wonderful wool. Yeah, I think it might be a whistle. I think you might be right there, Connie. I shall get Nathan or Chris to do the honours if they think it's a whistle. No, it's not Blind Needle, I don't think. It's Blind Kill, this one. I'm waiting for them to explain themselves before we give them a whistle. Oh, really? This is. I know she had to rename, but I don't think she did Blind Kill. Oh, God, I've got something in my eye. What am I crocheting? I'm crocheting this horrible wool that's falling to bits into a jacket. It was either leave it, you know, make it into something that I may wear, or throw it out because the wool is so rubbish. It's just breaking up and falling apart. As I just explained before, when you touch it, where's it gone? Oh, it is Olivia. I do beg your pardon. Look at that. I mean, how can you crochet with anything like that? It just keeps falling apart. I'm sorry, I thought you were a whistle. That's what we call our You killed your other channel. Oh, right. You fooled me there with the kill bit, you know. I was just a bit wary of the kill bit. It does look. It looks like the fluff that comes out the tumble dryer, to be quite honest. Well, I'm glad we didn't whistle stop you, Olivia. Then I'm glad we didn't whistle you. I'm glad we took the time to find out who you was. Yeah. Yeah, I can't sew up too vigorously, otherwise it just goes. It's like I've even got purple. I know they look blue on here, but they're actually purple. I've even got purple mittens on. Actually, you're lucky I'm awake. I'd actually fallen asleep. That's why I was a bit late coming on. I didn't sleep at all last night. It wasn't because I was waiting for Santa, but I didn't sleep at all last night. You know, when you lie there and you're like, go to sleep, go to sleep. I'm going to go to sleep. I'm going to go to sleep. And it ticks round and it ticks round. So you think, no, like, oh God, I've really got a hair in my eye. So then you start thinking, I'll watch something on YouTube. So I've got my little Kindle in the bedroom because I don't have a telly in the bedroom. And I thought I'll just watch a few, you know, catch up on some of the vlogmases or whatever it is. Oh, I admire people who can do those. I'd have nothing to say. I would have nothing to say. I was struggling today to find something to talk about. You know, with not being prolific anymore, with me crocheting and that, I tend to think, oh my God, you're a bit boring, Janet. Who wants to watch you waffling on? Yeah. So I tend not to do things like vlogmases and stuff. But I admire people who can. I haven't even started watching the vlogmases from Little Drops of Wonderful, Ali. I mean, you know, much as I like watching her, she's very interesting, but hi, Shad. Hello. Father Christmas coming to your new house. Have you got all your carrots ready and your mince pies and everything ready for Santa? Do you think he'll find you in your new house, Shad? Think he'll bring you prezzies? I won't get many prezzies this year because I think if you watched my other video I made today, we decided a couple of years ago after I moved that my family, when I say my family, I mean my brother's family, not to bother with Christmas presents because everybody's scattered everywhere and it was like trying to put things in the post and it just got all together too much. So we just drew a line under it and decided that, you know, they don't buy me, I don't buy them. So that means, Bailey, basically the only prezzies I'm going to get is from my son and my daughter-in-law. But hey ho, I'm a big girl now and I don't need a load of prezzies. Besides which, I bought myself a box of Chockies. I would share them with you, but you know, it's Cadbury's milk tray, yeah. Oh, the strike. Well, there was no point, you know. I was going to put some woolen stuff, well, yarn. I can't call it yarn, I call it wool. I was going to put some woolen stuff on eBay, and then I thought, there's no point. No point until after the strikes are over. I mean, I don't know what postmen are paid, so I can't comment, you know, whether it's too much, too little, too whatever. I'm not going to, you know, comment. I'm not the one who gets up at 4 o'clock in the morning and trudging the street in the rain, am I? You're minus 30, Shaq. Oh my goodness me, Shaq. Minus 30, I wouldn't put my foot out the door. Good grief. Father Christmas's whiskers is going to freeze in that weather. Oh, dearie me, Shad. Make sure you've got your logs and stuff inside. You don't want to go out in that, do you? Oh, dear. It says it's raining here. It doesn't say what it is. It just says raining. That's a surprise, isn't it? It's rained on and off all day. It didn't rain when I went to, well, it's called Affinity now. It used to be called Freeport. It's the pathetic excuse of a shopping precinct that Fleetwood has. And after I watched the Christmas parade, you know, going through Manchester's Arndale, I could have cried. I just wanted to go home. I'm like, oh, what the shops? I miss the shops. The shops were, I wasn't looking at the parade, I was looking at the shops going past and thinking, oh my goodness me, how I miss those shops. You know, tasteful shops. Shops with clothes, shops with shoes, shops with all sorts of things. Not a load of tat and charity shops. Or you call them Goodwill. They're not even Goodwill shops here. The kind of tat that people throw out here isn't worth having anyway. I've looked in some of the charity shops, and I am a charity shop queen. Well, I used to be when I lived in Prestwich. But trust me, I wouldn't buy anything from around here. Hey, Rick, how are you doing? Fleetwood looks like one huge charity shop. It does, honestly. It's so tatty. I think if I'd have properly looked at the state of Fleetwood before I moved here, I wouldn't have come. Yeah. You've had a storm and freezing rain. Well, it's not freezing here, but it's raining hard. Yeah. Santa's going to get very wet in his sleigh tonight. Yeah. Not that we've got many kids on this street, so I don't think Santa comes down here. We've got two small kiddies across the road. The kids next door that way are teenagers, so they're probably, well, I don't think they're quite old enough to be out clubbing, if there was anywhere in Fleetwood to go clubbing. It's not exactly the swinging metropolis. The bus service was cancelled. Yeah. My son and daughter-in-law went with all of the grandkids to watch Snow White. Because my son said it wasn't his thing. And there was a kid behind him that was screaming its little lungs out, which didn't enamour him, you know. He's a bit like me with kids. He likes his own, but nobody else's. Oh dear, I can't do with today's kids when the parents don't check them, you know. In my day and age, when, you know, our kids were small, if they started to be naughty, we told them off. Yeah. But here, you know, you don't say anything here. And the little brats, honest. Oh dear. I dread the next generation. It's going to be awful. And 2 and 3-year-olds, you know, are telling the parents what to do, kicking them and spitting at them and swearing at them. And I'm like, oh, what is the next generation going to be like? Too soft. Well, they're not supposed to smack them, are they? They're not supposed to, you know. Darling, don't do that, you know. Hello, Granny D. Hi there. Merry Christmas to you as well. Oh, parents are definitely too soft these days. I think they're that scared, aren't they? You know. I can remember one kid saying to me, I'll ring child services over you if you tell me off. I said, hang on a minute, I'll get my phone. What's the number? You have to call their bluff these days. Cheeky little brats. Nobody gets notifications. I don't get notifications. In about half an hour, it'll tell me that I've got a video up. You know, I have to smile because Tracy Crochet Rock Show says, press the notification bell. And I'm thinking, yeah, that's not the point, Tracy. I still don't get notification. In the good old days, we used to get emails, didn't we? The good old days. But then I suppose it got too much, or it got expensive, or they had to employ somebody to do it. So now, eBay's cancelled so many things. It's like they used to do the free editing service, didn't they? They cancelled that. I could do the editing when it had the free one with YouTube, but then they stopped. Now you have to buy editing software, yeah. Shad's got minus 30 degrees, Granny D, or minus 34. So I don't wonder he's holed up in his little shed. I don't wonder you hold up. I hope you've got your coal and your logs and everything in there with you. Otherwise, you'd have to put your winter boots on and slip and slide to go to the log pile. I don't like cold weather. I want to hibernate. I want to be a tortoise, or whatever you call them, a turtle or something. You don't call them tortoises in America, do you? Or a bear. I could be a bear that hibernates. Because when bears wake up, they're all grumpy, aren't they? That would be me. A hermit. Oh, I could do a hermit quite easily. I could do a hermit. I turn a part hermit when it's weather like this. My son will say, "Aren't you going anywhere?" And I go, "No." I look out the window and it's raining, and I'm like, "No, no." Oh, I don't blame you, Granny D. I don't think I'd want to go out. No. I went out on Thursday because it had actually stopped raining, and I did get a lift. If I'd have had to go there on my scooter, I think I would have cried off. Oh, and I've still got that flipping scooter. Don't mention it. I haven't heard a Tweety bird. Come the new year, my resolution is going to be to bawl him out, yeah. I am not keeping that thing any longer. It's probably out of battery now because it's parked up. What am I making? I'm trying to make a silk purse out of a sow's ear, actually. Because it's some tatty wool, which Sirdar put its name to ages ago, which I don't think it ever should have done, because it's pulling apart. I'm sewing together a cardigan in extremely chunky wool. And I don't blame you. It's probably be frozen beer anyway, Shad, wouldn't it? Icicles on your beer. I've got me coffee. Got me coffee. Cheers, everybody. Yeah, it would be a beer slushy, wouldn't it? It would be a frozen beer popsicle. I've got my alcohol in for Christmas. Not that I drink a lot of it. I buy it once a year, my alcohol. I buy all my bottles like once a year. Then they last me all year. Hi, Sajida. Hi, BB. Oh, you don't want to do anything. Yeah, well, I don't. Yeah, we all have our moments, don't we? I hope you managed to have a peaceful Christmas, let's say, BB. Yeah. And let's hope the new year brings everything better. For everyone who's not having a brilliant time of it. And there's lots of people who aren't. We've got to remember that, haven't we? When you're sitting here thinking you're having a bit of a... I mean, I've had some rotten Christmases in my time. Married or no, I've had some rotten Christmases in my time. When I'd far rather have been somewhere else. Yeah, it's not the best of time, is it, for you? Yeah. My friend's mother's just passed away. And another of my friend, her husband's just passed away. It's not the best time, is it? You just have to take each day as it comes, Bibi. Just take each day. I'm not saying it'll be better because it's not happened to me, so I can't say that. You know, when people say, "Oh, I know how you feel," and unless you've been in it, you don't know how you feel. You can imagine you would know. So I mean, I don't know because I've had my brother pass away and my parents pass away, but it's not the same as having a spouse pass away. My friend that I go singing with, her husband passed away very suddenly about a month ago. So I can't say that she's going to be having a lovely Christmas. Yeah, all we can hope is that everything's a bit better for you next year. Yeah, so it sort of annoys me when people say, "Oh, I know how you feel." No, you can't know how people feel. You don't, unless it's you. I mean, when I was younger, I probably said things like that, not thinking. But as you get older, you realise what a silly thing to say. You know, I usually stick with saying, "How are you?" You know, that's a lovely thing to remember, baby, that you did have a wonderful life with him. And you know, it's nice to look back on your memories. You know, it's something to give you a bit of comfort that you did have such a wonderful life. Yeah, it's as I say, I've never. Do people know how to drive? I'm sure a lot of them don't. I think a lot of them around here didn't pass the test. I think it's especially hard when you lose someone close to you at a time like a Christmas, like a New Year, like a birthday. You know, it means that you're always thinking of it every anniversary type of thing. I suppose I'm fortunate in a way that nobody's ever passed away on a holiday. You know, all the people in my life who've passed away have not passed away on anything relevant, you know. I hope you're driving safely, Rick. I know what you're driving is like, Mr. Speed Merchant. I hope you're being careful, not doing your usual bombing down the highway routine. Da 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 da. Never mind, it's don't do what you do. You shouldn't be doing it anyway. Listen to your mother, she's speaking to you. I'm your surrogate mother while I'm on here. How's the weather? Raining, in one word. Rain, rain, hello, rain. That's what the weather's like here. It's welly weather, Wellington boot weather. That's all I can say. And I'm not going out. I have no plans to go anywhere. I should have gone out to do a bit of last minute shopping the other day, and I thought, nope, not going. Whatever I've not got, I will do without, because I am not going out. I'm a fair weather shopper. Yeah, I don't have a car anymore. I've got my own set of wheels, if you know what I mean. But I'm not using the Popemobile. I'm not using that. I hope you're more careful, Rick. No more Speedy Gonzales. Am I having family over? No, not really. Um, my eldest granddaughter is a split family. She had two girls, and she got married again and had two more girls. And unfortunately, both of the marriages are over. So the girls are going to their respective dads. So they're not coming here. I think we may be having their youngest daughter and her little boy on Boxing Day, but I'm not too sure. You should have been a stunt driver. Lots of people think they should be a stunt driver, Rick, but they're not all that good. I used to be a speedster when I was younger. How I never got ticketed, I don't know. Because I never drove I never went crazy mad, but I was never on. Most of our roads over here are 30, and I was never 30. I was always about 40. But I was never ticketed, funnily enough. I was once nearly ticketed, but he let me off. Mirror, signal. Oh, I didn't get told headlight. It was just mirror and signal before you pull out. He never said anything about the headlight because most of my driving lessons were done in the daytime. Yeah. I'm going to go back to Manchester, though. I really am. After seeing the Arndale, I was so homesick. Oh, the roundabouts, yeah. The roundabouts here are something else. I don't think you have them in America. At one time, it was all roundabouts. It wasn't any. Nearly every junction was a roundabout instead of it being a traffic light or something. It was nearly always a roundabout. I was always in the wrong lane for a roundabout. Or if I was in the right lane, everybody else was in the wrong lane. Was it that obvious you were a tourist? I was always in the wrong lane. I thought I was in the right lane. The copper plaque. Oh, it's over on the other wall. It's on the other wall where you can't see it. It's on the other wall. It's a map actually of England, I think. Or it might be Britain. But it's over there. I'm thinking, what copper plaque? Which one is that? Yeah, everything's swapped around. I've got the elephant there now. The elephant used to be out of sight. But now the elephant has made its way over the top of the fireplace. Or my tree. I have to find one that doesn't do that much too much because it's got about 12 different settings. But they're all... Oh, I know where the green clock is, Shad. I can always torment you with it. It only needs a battery. I know where the green clock is. Be nice to me, Shad, or I might go find it. Yeah, you've got something in common with BB then. She's just lost her husband. It's all fresh with her. We don't have those kind of highways here in Rick. We don't have those kind of roads. Some of our drivers think we have those kind of roads, but we don't. I miss its ticking. I really do, Shad. It's very comforting. It's like a little heartbeat ticking away there. I should have got a clock for the bedroom that ticks. Then maybe I might not be so insomniac, if that's a word. Insomniacal. I don't sleep anyway. I don't sleep very well since we moved here. I don't know why. Plus the fact, somebody over the back where my bedroom is has a security light. I like to leave my curtains just a little bit open. And this blooming security light keeps coming on, coming on, coming on. So that's very annoying. But hey ho. These things are sent to trials. Why am I sewing up that bit with this colour when I'm on the flat deck? Oh, I love a ticking clock. It just reminds me of a heartbeat. It's BB that might need your help, Ruth. BB, if she's on here. No, it's too flipping quiet here. That's the trouble. It's too quiet. I'm not saying I need it noisy, but it's just too quiet. You know, I sleep better when there's something happening and, you know, people going up and down the street with their cars or something like that. It's just dead around here. Nothing happens. It's too quiet. I mean, where I lived before, I had a drug dealer across the road. So he was in and out, in and out, in and out all night long, you know. So I was so used to him coming and going all night long that, you know, it was great, really. He was a nice bloke as well, apart from his nocturnal habits. He was quite sort of reasonable. He didn't slam his car door or anything like that. But he had a very noisy car. But it was like, you know, I used to wake up and think, oh, that's just Sean going out. So it was like a comforting noise, you know. There goes Sean. Off to make another deal. I know silence is driving me crazy, Anna Michelle. It's too quiet here. Too quiet. I didn't live in a very, very sort of noisy street, but at least it had some traffic now and again. Oh, the both across the road, yeah. You know, as you know, I suffer badly with my back and my hips, and my friends kept saying to me, what you need is a bit of weed, you know. I said, no, I don't smoke anything like that, don't. Anyway, I wouldn't know where to go, and they're going, are you joking? Just go to Sean across the road. That's not here, by the way. That was where I used to live. You could go and ask Sean across the road, he'd ask you. He was the most ordinary kind of guy as well. You know, you wouldn't have thought it of him, really. You know, he didn't look like a dropout or anything like that. He didn't grow his own, by the way. You know, we never got raided for that. Hey, I got pictures today of Bertie and Lena. If you remember my Gigi, you know, he passed away a couple of years ago. And they've got two new little chihuahuas, but they're long-haired ones. They look a bit like a cross between a chihuahua and a sort of a corgi, really. They've got long hair and they've got hairy ears. And I got sent a picture of them both today. Cute little things they are. cuties. I wanted a chihuahua. I wanted a chihuahua instead of a little pig face. Oh dear. She's drove me nuts this afternoon. Trampling all over me like a baby elephant. God, how a thing like that can weigh so much, I do not know. She's like, she's about as elegant as an elephant. I think an elephant's more elegant than she is. Oh, she's a pain. Well, I managed to sew a lot of these bits up without any mishaps about it breaking. It'll probably fall apart when I'm wearing it. But it's been haunting me, this wool, because it was too... I didn't want to give it to anybody because it was so bad. And I definitely couldn't have sold it to anybody because it was so bad. So I thought, well, it's either use it up or lose it, put it in the bin. And I really have this thing, I do not like putting wool in the bin or yarn. I hate calling it yarn. My family worked in the cotton trade, so yarn was that scruffy stuff that they used to spin. Hi, Susan. So I can't think of yarn. To me, everything's wool, whether it's acrylic or what it's made out of, it's wool. I had a wool shop. I'll say I had a wool shop. I never say I had a yarn shop. In any case, a yarn over here is a story. You're telling a fine yarn. It's a story. You're yarning on. That's the story. Sue, I talked to her today. She's doing fine. She went down to see her family today. 21st she went. 21st, 22nd. She went to see her family because her eldest granddaughter was 21. So she went down. I don't know whether they had a party or what, but she went down anyway. So she's fine. She's fine. Well, as fine as she ever is, like me. She suffers with her back. I don't usually moan on about my back, as you know, but this week it's been... I don't know whether it's the cold weather, the wet weather, or what it is, yeah. But it's been giving me jip, as they say over here. Giving me jip. I mean, it must have been. I was walking around Freeport, the shopping thing, and I said to my friend, I've got to sit down. I've got to sit down. I just can't go any further. I've got to sit down. And she said, you look awful. And I thought, that's a friend telling me I look awful. I said, oh, gee, thanks. She goes, well, you do. She says, I can always tell when you're in pain. She said, it shows on your face. I thought, oh, that's nice. But I was in pain. I usually manage to soldier through everything, but sometimes, the pain just gets the better of you. You have to sort of go, yes, I am in pain. But I did say I would be fine if I have a coffee and we sit down, which we did. So she brought me a coffee and we had a sit down and I managed to continue. Hi, Amanda Jane. We will say Merry Christmas, although I don't think any of us is feeling it this year. Is anybody on here in the Christmas spirit? Is anybody feeling hunky-dory and tickety-boo and all that jazz? Anybody? No, I'm waiting for somebody to say, oh, hello, happy Christmas. You're exhausted. My legs go numb. Oh, my God, yeah. Well, I've got neuropathy, so, yeah. So we don't talk about baking. What's that? I haven't baked. Well, I can't bake actually since I come here because, oh, I know, it's times like that you do miss your doggies, don't you? I still miss Buster, even though it's 6 years. I miss my Buster like mad. It's funny, you always have that one dog, don't you? Of all the dogs and animals I've had, you always have that one that you miss the most. Now, I can't bake anymore because when we moved here, my daughter-in-law tidied out my kitchen because I wasn't in a fit state to do it all. And we didn't bring any of my baking utensils and anything didn't come. So if I wanted to bake, I would have to start buying everything all over again. You know, with bun tins and cake tins and God knows what tins. Well, I've sewn it together, such as it is. It's about the scruffiest bit. Oh, Buster. He was my baby Buster. He looks down on me every day. Look, there he is. There's Buster. Woo, can you see him? Oh, which way? Where? Can I not point the camera? There you are. And that's the calendar from the Foxes Afloat. And they have got themselves a new doggy. They've still got the old doggy, but they've got themselves a new doggy. They just bought a new puppy to be company for the dog that they've got. That's why we got Trixie, to be company for the dog we've got. I honestly wish we hadn't bothered. Right, I've got to do the sleeves now. Well, I've got to finish the sleeves. I've got a great big pile of barf here. Bits I've chopped off. Oh, Poppy. No, Gigi passed away not long after I moved here. They've now got 2 new doggies called Bertie and Lena, 2 new chihuahuas. Looks like a troll. It's a cocker spaniel. There's bits of wool all over the floor because Rosie decided she would pick up all the bits of my wool and play with them and pull them apart because I told you they're all falling apart. So she was having a whale of a time. Better drink my coffee, it's gone cold. I used to have one of those warmer pad things when I was at the other house, but it wasn't much cup. You know, where you put your coffee on it and it stays warm. It didn't work. I mean, Tracy's got one, Crochet Rocks. I don't know whether hers is working better than mine ever did, but mine's not working. Do you know, I haven't got enough room on this desk. I used to have a huge desk when I was at the other house. Huge, humongous desk. What have I got here? Oh, Victoria, my niece. She just had a nice Christmas Eve. Her and a hubby. It's been nice. Just settling down to a medicinal Baileys. That's a good idea. Hope you have a nice day, even if it's a bit quiet. Oh, that's my eldest niece. She's having a quiet one with her hubby today. Wish that Maya Crochet Luna had put some flipping clothes on. Every time I see her in a video, she's always got nothing on. Does she think she's sexy or something? Or is it just me? Is it just me being a Grinch? She has to parade about with little skimpy knickers on and stuff on, and I'm like, put some clothes on, girl. Oh, thank you. Right, I've got 2 sleeves, part done. Don't ask me what pattern I'm doing because I'm doing my own. I was watching Cracker, a very sort of old episode of Cracker. Bless him, Robbie Coltrane is no longer with us. But I was watching that and crocheting the other night. See, if I get something interesting to watch, I can do my crochet. But the usual claptrap that's on. There's absolutely nothing on this Christmas that I want to watch. And thank God I don't have Netflix. I wouldn't pay for Netflix. If they can afford to pay Ginger and Whinger, I just don't want to subscribe. That's what they would be using my money for, to pay them to. They wouldn't be getting my custom. Oh, look, it's getting nearly up to the top there. Nearly up to the top of my sleeve. Oh, the whiners, yeah. So I'm glad I don't have Netflix because I wouldn't want to contribute. I would be like, you're not doing that with my money. I'd be saying, pay for something interesting with, some interesting series or something, or pay for a couple of whatever. I don't know whether I want to do this sleeve business. I'll put it there for a minute, and maybe I'll have my crisps. I've got chocolate, but then I've got lights, which are supposed to be like less calories in them. Yeah, the millionaire whiners and whingers and carry-oners, yeah. Oh, Netflix drops them. You're going to get yours and join me, are you? Right, okay. I've got a Coca-Cola somewhere down here. It's not a Pepsi, though, it's a Coke. So I've still got some cold coffee left. I know how to live it up on Christmas Eve, don't I? Low calorie crisps or chips, as you want to call them in the States. He did do some work when he was in the army, didn't he? But I like the way they keep saying Hollywood star. She was never in any Hollywood star. She was a two-bit actress in Suits. She was never in any films. I'd never heard of her. Not many people over here like them, Greek Stitcher. They've really burnt the boats over here, burnt the bridges, I should say. If they came back, they wouldn't be welcome. One thing about us Brits, we're fiercely loyal people. We can call our own people, but let anybody else do it, and we're in. Oh, we're in like a shot. Don't you call us Brits. Here's a disrespectful, whatever. I'm not in the Christmas spirit at all. If we don't have a big dinner tomorrow, it wouldn't worry me at all, because I don't eat a lot anyway. I eat dribbles and bits and pieces like this. I eat nibbles, but I don't want a big meal. I've been out for 3 Christmas meals with various, knit clubs and things like that. And I've only eaten about half my dinner on each occasion. Not as I don't like it, I just can't finish them. I tend to eat little and often. You know, I'll eat something and about 2 hours later I want to eat something again, but only a bit. I just cannot eat a big meal anymore. I do hope my daughter-in-law doesn't make a big meal tomorrow. I'm going to say to her, just give me a small dinner. Don't want them. She'll probably make a big dinner on Boxing Day if her daughter and son and a son-in-law and the baby. Well, he's not a baby; he's 4. Come. She'll probably pull the stops out then. But as it's just me and my son and her tomorrow, I hope she doesn't do a big meal. Christmas was only Christmas to me. And my mum and dad were alive. It was been my mum, my dad, my brother, his wife, the 2 kids, me, my ex, my son. And then there was usually one of my aunts used to come. And then another of my aunt and her husband used to pop in. They didn't stay for dinner, but they used to pop in. We'd have a house full of people. That was Christmas to me, but now it's just not. Even when my brother was alive, my youngest niece used to come up from London and with her kids and her husband, obviously. And my elder niece used to be there, and me, and my brother and his wife. But when my brother passed away, it just got a bit too much for my sister-in-law. So we started going out for meals on Christmas Day, but it wasn't the same. The one thing about Manchester, there's a lot of homeless people in Manchester, a lot of people standing on street corners, huddled up in a blanket and stuff. And I came out of the restaurant one Christmas Day, and I wasn't dressed for the weather, and it was cold. And I was waiting for a taxi to come, and I was shivering. And this homeless man, bless him, he said, "Do you want to borrow my blanket?" I said, "Oh, thank you so much." I said, "You're so kind." I said, "But you do need it more than I do." He wanted to lend me his blanket, bless him. Come on, yo ho ho, let's all sing some carols or something. I can't put any music on because of copyright and they'll ban me video. But I hope all of you have got music on. I hope you're all having a little sing-song. I've got hiccups. And it's not the same when your family members pass away. I only had a brother, and he's passed away now. Ooh. I don't know what our temperature is around here. It just keeps saying rain at the bottom. It usually says the temperature at the bottom of my screen, but it just says the rain. Rain on and off. I think actually the rain is more on than off. Right, I'm full of crumbs now. Something else for the bin. Those of you in England, make the day with Cadbury's milk tray. Do you remember the milk tray man that used to come? All dressed in black, didn't he? He used to come and break in your house and leave you a box of chocolates. We all used to think it was wonderful. I don't think you would nowadays. If anybody broke in your house and left you a box of chocolates. Oh, it is milk tray. Make the day, make the day. I have actually been eating some. Yeah, you might not leave though, Amanda, if you broke in. Right, what do I like next? Hazelnut swirl. No, don't like nuts. Anything with a nut in it. Don't. Oh, whole roasted whole hazelnut in a swirl of milk chocolate. No. Why does everything have to have nuts in? Honey crunch. Honey flavour milk chocolate truffle with crunchy pieces. I'll try one of those, yeah. Oh, you'll have the hazelnut swirl. You can. Oh, yeah. I'm not allergic to nuts. I just don't like nuts. So why do I have to have everything with nuts in it? I'm going to try a honey truffle. Got bits of honey. I don't like the taste of nuts. I just don't like the taste of them. I'm not allergic to them. I'm not mad about honey. Honey reminds me of cough sweets. Just tastes a bit like a cough sweet, actually. A chocolate cough sweet is what this one tastes like. Winnie the Pooh. I've never liked honey, even when I was a kid. And they used to try and give you honey when you were a kiddie. There. My favourite is here. Turkish Delight. Fry's Turkish Delight. From the fabulous East. It's the Sultan's favourite feast. But it's not. Fry's Turkish Delight. They don't have them little songs anymore now. Instead, they have them stupid Asian people go whoop, 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 whoop for celebrations. I have to turn it off. I can't stand them. Whoop, 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 whoop. Yeah, well, you can whoop, whoop away. I'm going to have an orange truffle. Listen, there's a lot of people that eat like sumo wrestlers and they're not sumo wrestlers. It's like my £600 life. I'm like, oh my God, how can anybody be that big? Sumo wrestlers eat that much because they burn it up. Oh, that Thornton's chocolate advert gets on my wick, because I've told you before. When she comes in, hi. that box of chocolates like that. Then this woman says, "Would you like to look around the house?" And she goes, "Can we not open these first?" And I'm like, "No, it's a prezi. You're not eating it." Oh yeah, I've got the chocolate oranges. I've got my son one. It's always a joke. From being small, my son's always had a Toblerone. Oh, the dopey husband. "Neil, you've eaten the chocolate, Neil." What am I making? I'm trying to make a jacket and I've lost interest in it altogether. I'll be glad when that Celebrations advert goes off, though, and that Thornton chocolate advert goes off. It's like, what are the advertising people thinking about with those stupid men going, whoop, 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 whoop? I never thought that was a good idea. And the advertising manager that signed off on it. I wouldn't mind if they made it last year. They eat 10,000 calories a day. They probably burn them off, though, don't they? I'm talking about the people who eat 10,000 calories a day and just sit on the backside because they can't get out of bed because they're that fat. You know, they're not burning anything off. Oh, you never seen the advert? Oh, you are lucky. Yeah, she comes in with the box like that and she goes, "Hi." And then when she says, "Can we not open them now?" And I'm like, "No, it's a present. Don't be so greedy." Yeah, well, I know they have to keep the bulk up, don't they? Because that's kind of like but if they ate and didn't exercise, they would be just very unhealthy. I'm talking about the people who eat like a sumo wrestler, but just lie in bed. Oh, the adverts are getting so silly, aren't they? I think they're running out of ideas, you know. It's like, let's think of something more stupid than the last advert we had here. There's not many adverts that really get on my pip, but those two really, really. Oh, I'm like that with a mute button. As soon as they come on, I can't press it quick enough. As soon as I see her face going, "Ah." There's not many adverts that make me really get, because most of you just tune off, don't you? You just don't hear them. You know, do the advertising people know how we tune out? You know, or you go to make a coffee. You know, when the adverts come on, you all disappear to go and make a coffee. Sue is doing fine. She's doing absolutely fine. I spoke to her today. She'd been down to her daughters because her granddaughter was 21 on the 21st. And she went down. I don't know whether they had a party or whether she just went down. So I don't know. They might have had a do for her. I don't know. I didn't ask, actually. To be quite honest with you, I didn't ask. Yeah. So she's fine. She's doing fine. I'm hoping against hope to be able to go and see her this coming summer. But at the moment, she hasn't got a spare bedroom for me. Well, not one that's fixed up. And sadly, she doesn't live near any B&Bs. Otherwise, I would book in a bed and breakfast, you know, and stay in a bed and breakfast. But she's miles and miles and miles away from the nearest bed and breakfast. So, otherwise, you know, I would have gone up this year, but for the fact that she doesn't have a spare bedroom. They're selling a feeling. Well, with me, it's like, I wouldn't buy either of those chocolates. I had a choice when I went into the to the shop. I could have bought a box of Celebrations, but I deliberately didn't because I thought, no, not heard a tweet from Kelly, not heard nothing from her since she made that video. Not heard anything. Oh, the car advert. May, the one with supposedly Santa Claus, which is supposed to be the car that drives itself, and then underneath it says, you can't get this car, it's not even in production, this is what it could be like in the future. And I'm like, what's the point? What's the point? It says Santa Claus is rather dishy. But what's the point? This is the car of the future. You know, the car. And it shows the steering wheel like going like that and disappearing, saying you don't need a steering wheel. And underneath, you can't buy it. What's the point? Why advertise? I don't see the point. Didn't make me want to buy an Audi. Allegedly winner. With us, it's that win a house with that old maze thing, whatever it is. I'm very suspicious about that. How can you win that house that's worth so many million? I think it's still the same house they keep advertising. Nobody's won it yet. Anyway, if you won a house and it's right in the middle of no place and it might be worth so many million, you wouldn't be able to afford the council tax or the electric or the whatnot to keep running it, would you? You'd have to sell it. You might go on holiday in it and then sell it. But they're massive. These houses that you can win. Huge, huge. Most people in the street couldn't afford the upkeep. You know, the gas, the electric, council tax, whatever. Unless they gave you a year's supply to help you to sell the house, I don't know. I was going to say, I'm sure they wouldn't win a jet. What's the average man in the street going to do with a jet? Park it in his garage? Not John Travolta, is he? I think John Travolta's the only person who's got an aeroplane in his garage. Yeah, I wouldn't mind winning the lottery, but I don't want a, massive, massive amount. I think more people should win the lottery, smaller amounts, yeah. We don't have them, Chris. I don't think State Farm commercials get over here. No, it'd be better if more people won $1 million, say. You know, people win 30 million. Nah, it's too much money. You know, have 30 people win $1 million. I'm surprised that anybody entered the competition to win a jet. It's not exactly something that you could take on your holidays with you, is it? I can understand people entering a competition for a camper van or a car. Something that's more within your reach, you know. But why anybody would want to win a jet, I don't know. Good grief, I mean, I can imagine how much jet fuel it would take before you even took off. No, I wouldn't. I don't enter competitions anyway. One of my friends, she's very good at winning all sorts of things, but we're talking smaller things. We're not talking about. She did win a holiday once, but she doesn't enter massive competitions. She wins, like a toaster oven or something like that. Things that are reasonable. I don't think I've ever won anything. I think I won a little competition when I was a child. You had to colour in this picture thing or something and send it off to the newspaper, and I think I won. I think it was like the equivalent of like a jigsaw or something I won. I've never won anything. You know, when I've won the lottery, I've only ever won £10. You know what I mean? I win. What do you call them? Free gifts, not free gifts, free spins on the lottery. I win a lot of them, but they never do anything. I never actually win anything. I guess I'm just not lucky that way. Mind you, like my dad said, you have to be in it to win it, don't you? Oh, goodness me. I think Pepsi should give over having competitions. We don't have them over here. I don't think Pepsi's ever had any competitions over here. I don't remember any anyway. No, I think. No, I would probably enter a competition if it was for like a toaster oven or what do you call them? Those air fryer things. Or I might enter a competition for a holiday or something like that, but I wouldn't bother anything bigger than that because I wouldn't want it. I wouldn't want. What do I want a car for? Can't drive anymore. I mean, yeah, technically I know how to drive, but I don't have a license anymore. Not because it got took off me, by the way. I just let it lapse. I had to renew it when I was 70. And at the time, I thought, I'm never going to drive again. I'm never going to afford a car. So what was the point? And I was a bit strapped for cash, and it was like 70 something pound to renew my driver's license. And I thought, why bother? Because it isn't just having a car these days, is it? It's the insurance and the road tax and all the other stuff, and the petrol and the other stuff. I mean, I could have got a car on my disability, but then I wouldn't get a scooter. So if I park my car in the car park, how do I get from the car to the shop? Yeah, small discrepancy there because I can't have a car and a scooter at the same time. So yeah. Well, my friend, she's always winning every. I mean, they don't mean massive things. Don't get me wrong. She doesn't win massive things, massive. She'll win like a week's supply of groceries or something like that. But I don't know what's happened to me pom pom. Something nasty's happened to me pom pom here, and I haven't washed it, so I don't know. I wonder if one of the dogs has had it. I think the dog's had me pom pom. It looks a bit sad, doesn't it? I think one of them's nibbled me pom pom. Ah, I'm suffering from missing some of my favourite people. Not quite enough yarn. She's suddenly stopped doing her due to unforeseen circumstances. I don't know what's happened. Somebody's there, well, something's happened. So she's not doing her Vlogmas anymore. And I watch Alt Knots. I think I've told you the lady's got the bright red hair and the big black eyes. She's not made anything for about the last 3 or 4 days. Yeah. Mm. You miss them when they don't make a video. When they make one every day, all of a sudden they stop. And you're like, oh, where have they go? Where have they go? Oh, shush, shush. Shush, shush, whoever it is who's sending me messages. Shush, shush. Oh, oh, it's where I Oh, got a message from Trev. Oh, thank you, Trevor. That's Kiss My Stained Glass. Yeah. And I won't carry on. My lovely Trev. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know what I'm going to do tomorrow. I don't think there's anything decent on the telly. Be some rehash, won't it, or something? Something, what's it? At least in the old days, you could either get The Sound of Music or Jason and the Argonauts. My ex-husband used to watch Jason and the Argonauts every single year, even though we'd watched it. Or there used to be Jesus Christ, didn't it? Or whatever it was called. The one with Robert Powell in it. You used to know there was the same three on Sinbad. It used to be the same video, same films every year, every Christmas. You could rely on them, yeah. But Jason and the Argonauts, oh dear. Every blooming Christmas day. Yeah, The Sound of Music. We used to have The Sound of Music every year. Yeah. It'll be Mrs. Brown's Christmas special. It'll be at some stage along the line. Call the Midwife, which I don't mind. I'll be watching that. As for the rest, I don't know what I'll be watching. It's usually a James Bond, isn't there? There's usually James Bond's thrown in the mix somewhere along the line. Jason and the Argonauts. Oh, I can't tell you how many times I've watched that, Chris. Jason and the Argonauts. It's a wonder I don't know the dialogue. My ex would watch it every year without fail. Or is it Die Hard that's on this year? Oh, God. I don't want the movie channel because I don't like any of today's movies. It's all bang, bang, shoot, shoot, blow everybody up movies. I don't like them kind of movies. I watch the old movies that are really, really old. I watched an old black and white one the other day with Margaret Rutherford in, which you lot have never heard of her. She must have died before you were all born. But she was doing an Agatha Christie, black and white movie it was. And I'd watched it before. I thought, she had such an expressive face, Margaret Rutherford. Yeah. Oh, Muppets Christmas Carol. Yeah. You remember Margaret Rutherford? Yeah, you're my age group. Yeah, that was all due to one guy who wouldn't give up on it. Everybody else with all the fancy equipment were all giving up on him. They wouldn't let them all die. But that one guy wouldn't let them, would he? He kept on pushing, and he went and rescued them. Mm. I miss the old Lassie Come Home films, Lassie was always there, wasn't she? Racing to the rescue. Where's the good old films like Skippy the Bush Kangaroo, and Lassie? The Man from Laramie. Wagon Train. Little House on the Prairie. They don't make them like they used to, do they? Hmm. Those are the kind of films I like. Yeah, Black Beauty. Mm-hmm. Doris Day, Calamity Jane, whip crack away, whip crack away, whip crack away. They were what you call good family movies back in the day. You didn't have to hide the kids, did you? There weren't any violence and sex and God knows what. People being beaten up and tied to chairs. There was none of that, was there? You know, the good old-fashioned John Wayne, movies. Although I could never understand where he got the girl, because he was, he'd be about 60 in these films, and they'd have him cast against some lovely young girl, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, they were all good. I used to watch them all, like Wagon Train and that. And then there was another one, not Smith and Jones, was it called? I don't mean alias Smith and Jones. I don't mean that one. I mean the old Smith and Jones, where there were two cowboys. One was blonde, one was dark. One was Robert Harper or something he was called. I used to watch all that. And I'm really going to show my age up now. Dragnet. Do you ever remember Dragnet? Mm-hmm. Oh, I don't like explosions and I don't like all that. And I'm not into Spider-Man and all that. Nope, nope. Quatermass, but you don't remember that, do you? Oh, here comes the doggy. Hello, Rosie. Hello, you. Hello, little girl. Hello. Hello, chicky. I wish you'd learn to close the door after yourself. Hmm? You come flying in, don't you? Leave the door wide open. Let your grandma get cold. Hmm? No, there's nothing in there for you. It's not. There's nothing to eat, sweetie pie. No. Where's your mama? You smell very doggy. She must have got wet, been outside and come in and she stinks a dog now. Oh, she's come to join me. She's sitting on the settee. She'll stay there now until her mum shouts her. Yeah, Wuthering Heights. Oh, yes, yeah. Gone with Wind. Even that one with Bette Davis and Joan Crawford. Whatever happened to Baby Jane, yeah. Oh, my son's snoring his little head off. He snores like a train. Yeah, the sound of music. The hills are alive with the sound of music. Or The King and I. Shall we dance? I'm going to shut the door. Oh, what are you doing, little girl? I can't shut the door because she wants to go out again in a minute, so I've closed it too. There's my shawl, look, see, while I'm up. Shall we dance? Suit it nice? Cha. Oh, Julie Andrews, no, she can't sing. Something about a throat operation, wasn't it? Oh, I've got my foot stuck in the light wire. Oh, do you know, it's a wonder I don't break my leg. It's like a network of wires under my desk. All because there's nowhere to plug things in. So everything has to snake across. Oh, shall we dance? Cha. Half a sixpence is better than half a penny. He's 86, isn't he now, Tommy Steele? Still on stage, still dancing and singing. 86? God bless him. I think he's Sir Tommy Steele. I think so. Can't remember. I watched a documentary on him the other day. I watch some weird things in my time. I do. I watch some weird stuff. But I just don't like half the stuff that's on the telly. So I have to go looking at old B. See, I must have been chaining something there. Casablanca, oh my goodness me. I used to have a ceiling fan that reminded me of Casablanca. It was a big wooden one. I had them in every room, actually. My house was so hot. I can't believe how hot my house used to be. And now this house is so cold. Imagine having to have fans in every room because it was so hot. I had a fan in the bedroom. Above my head, creaking away there. See, it's no wonder I can't sleep. I used to sleep with a fan on going. Better than a ticking clock, Chad. Oh, I don't watch Spider-Man and stuff like that. I like things. I used to like One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. That nurse, what was she called? Nurse Ratchet or something, what was she called? They used to make good films. There's no film that I want to go and watch at the moment. You know, there's no film that's come out that I'm like, I must go and watch that. I can't think of one. You know, I follow a lady called Alternative Aging. She used to be on the TV years ago on that big breakfast thing, you know, with Paula Yates and that. And she has got one of these, she does a review for Sky Movies. They send her so many free things, free movies or something. And she does reviews of them and all that. And I'm always thinking, you've not done a review of anything I want to watch yet. They all think we want action movies and whatever. You know, it's not, you know, it's got to be violent, it's got to be this, it's got to be that. You know, you don't have films like On Golden Pond anymore, you know, stuff like that. Or Steel Magnolias, you know, which is one of my favourite films. That and East is East, which you've probably not heard of in America. Yeah, I just, you know, I just don't. I don't want to watch them anymore. I just don't. They're not made for my generation, that's all I will say. They're just not. That's me cold coffee drunk. Maybe I will have myself a drink. Oh, I can't stand them bloody what's it movies. What are they called? Those like the animes and stuff. I can't be doing with them. I've got some rum. Only a little titchy bit of rum, but I've got some rum. Might as well have it. If I start going a bit whizzy, you'll know why. Oh, there's not much left. There's not enough to wet me whistle there. Talking Picture Channel. I do think I do, yeah. One where I was watching a program about Kathy Kirby on there the other day. Now, nobody's who's not in the UK will have heard of her. Yeah, I watched Yesterday and things like that on Freeview. I don't watch any of the other tribe. And I certainly wouldn't pay for Sky anymore. I was paying £40 odd a month for Sky, not watching anything on it. So I stopped it when I came here and I haven't missed it. £40 odd a month it was for Sky. And I didn't have Disney, I didn't have movies, I didn't have sports. All I had was the basic pack. I didn't have the kids' programs either. All I had was basic. So I was paying for the same things that are on Freeview. So I didn't bother anymore. Cheers. Got a rum Coke. Cheers. Very flat looking Coke, actually. I don't know. Yeah, I watch a lot of programs like, The Railways, which I've watched with Michael Palin, or with, what's he called, Michael Portillo. Watch a lot of programs. I miss the Geography Channel. That's the only one I miss on Sky. There used to be a geography program. What are you doing, darling? What are you sniffing at? There's no food. Grandma not got no food. Hmm? What are you doing? Does Mama want you? Does Mummy want you? She says, I'm not going yet. She's playing with a big Kong thing, whatever you call it. You put treats in it and they throw it around and treats drop out. But there's no treats in it. And she's still chewing it. She thinks there might be. It's got a ball in, so it like clangs about, so she thinks there's a treat in it. Yeah, I watch things. I watch mainly reruns. Like I watched Cracker the other night with Robbie Coltrane. I thoroughly enjoy things like that. And I watch, what's it called? Dangerous Last Chance, is it? They're all old. What else do I watch? Jonathan Creek. Vera. Frost. All will mean nothing to anybody who's in the US. Nothing at all. But American sitcoms, I don't watch them. I mean, like the Golden Girls and that, they used to be funny, but the modern ones, I don't find them funny at all. I can't think what else I watch. I watch reruns of Porridge, of course, like everybody does. Last of the Summer Wine for about the umpteenth time. Yeah, I just don't watch I don't watch the modern ones at all. Anybody in the UK watch anything decent that comes on? Occasionally I watch things like The Bay that came on. They're very short things. They come on for like every night for about a week and then you don't see them again. But no, I don't. Everybody's gone quiet. Have you all gone off to make your mince pies and stuff like that ready for Santa? Or are you all having a drink like I am? You're lucky I'm awake. As I say, I didn't sleep at all last night. I was wide awake. I think I managed to nod off about 6 o'clock and then I had to get up about 8:30. The dogs were barking. Dawson's Creek. I did used to watch that ages ago. Yeah. You're cooking and eating, are you? And we all used to watch Dallas and Dynasty, or Dynasty, as you insist on calling it in America. You're having a quick pre. That's what I'm doing. I've just finished off this bottle of rum. Yeah. There was only a dribble left in the bottle. It was a shame to leave it in. That's my excuse for sticking to it. And I bought a new bottle anyway. Um, yeah, can't think what else. Yeah, I picked some. I didn't. They didn't have any of that dandelion and burdock when I was in the shop. They hadn't got any, so I didn't buy any. Obviously, they didn't have any. You've got a gin and tonic. I can't drink too much gin for some reason or other. It makes me cry. I get very, very maudlin, if you know what that word is, maudlin, and I have a good cry. So it just makes me feel very depressed. Mother's Ruin gin. I don't mind a gin and bitter lemon, but I'm not mad about the tonic. Yeah. £575 bottle of whiskey. Gosh, gosh, that is a lot. £75 would be a lot of money to me for a bottle of whiskey. Dallas, Texas. Yeah, Dallas. I don't know why we all watched Dallas. It was a lot of tripe, really, wasn't it, when you think about it? But we all did, didn't we? Who killed JR? And Bobby in his shower scene, how he suddenly emerged again after he'd been killed for about 3 years. Suddenly came out of the shower and it was all a dream. Yeah, right. Really far-fetched. Oh, my goodness me. Some people have more money than sense. I would never pay that much money for anything. A triple, oh, I could never. My dad went to Canada and they popped over into America. Um, and they brought my dad his dinner, and he thought that the meat that they brought him was for everybody on the table. He didn't know it was just his. And the people from Canada said, "Oh, you just ask for a doggy bag and take it home." We went, "A doggy bag? I've eaten this all week." Yeah, gosh. When I watch programs, and they go in for something. I mean, I love Z. Don't get me wrong, Zelda NRJ3. But when she goes out to eat, I'm like, you got to eat all that, Z. You got to eat all that. To me, her portions are like massive, humongous, and I'm like, and she'll go to those, where you go round and you get a plate full, then you go round again, and that. I would only one time round, I would be full. They would make a lot of money out of me. I just can't eat it. Just can't. And I'm not exactly tiny, am I? My problem is not how much I eat, it's what I eat. I eat wrong. Hand up, eat wrong. That's why I'm a diabetic. Like today, I've eaten far more chocolates than I normally would eat in a day. So I'll probably pay for it tomorrow. My blood sugars will be all over this place tomorrow, yeah. But it's Christmas. If I zonk myself out on some chocolate usually makes me go to sleep, to be truthful. So whether it's because my blood sugars rise up and my reaction is I go to sleep. But I couldn't eat all that. I don't know how people eat it. My stomach wouldn't hold it. As I say, I nibble rather than eat a meal. I nibble. I eat a small meal, and then maybe 2, 3 hours later, I want another small meal. Or something on toast, yeah. I mean, yesterday they'd made me a breakfast, which was like, the bacon, the egg, and everything like that. And I didn't eat again all day, and all I had was some baked beans on toast for my dinner because I couldn't eat anything else. I'd had that big breakfast which lasted me like kind of all day. I couldn't. I just physically couldn't eat it. Just physically couldn't. It's something that doesn't happen really. There's one place I go to and they serve the desserts, the pieces of cake are honestly ridiculous. They're like for about 3 people, a massive, massive big piece of cake. And they do offer you a little, um, box thing to take it home with you. But by and large, we don't have doggy bags for main meal food. No. Maybe if we asked for one, we might get one, but it's not a thing that we do. We don't take. I don't think our portions are that big here in the UK. I mean, my cousin came from Canada. He just kept asking for refills of coffee, refills of coffee. And my dad's like, I don't think he realises we pay for every cup of coffee. We don't get refills. I mean, there you get a cup of coffee, don't you, free before you even order your meal in America in some places. But, oh, what was that? My lights went on and off. Um, how many pastas? About half of one in my case. I don't like pasta. Don't like pasta. It's like eating slimy. No. Oh God, yeah. No, normal. A normal English breakfast, full English breakfast, would be like one egg, some beans, a sausage, a couple of rounds of bacon. Not usually potatoes. There might be a couple of little triangular hash browns that are only quite small, and some black pudding. I can't eat all that, but that's what a full English breakfast is. You don't normally get 2 eggs. You normally only get one. But they do big breakfasts, and some men could eat that, yeah. A working man would polish off a great big breakfast like that. Somebody who works on a building site, for example, who works it all off. We have what you call transport cafes. I don't think you have them in America. You may have roadies or whatever you call them. But they're a transport cafe. In other words, they're not posh at all. It's just a big fry up, like a greasy spoon or whatever. They work them on, yeah. Yeah, the navvies used to. Yeah, shipyards. We used to have a lot of shipyards. They've gone mostly now. I mean, here in Fleetwood, this is why Fleetwood's so depressing. Yeah, you don't get free refills over here. You just pay for every coffee that you have. There used to be all fishing industry here. There used to be the big trawlers, and that used to come in, but it's all gone. There was all the fishing industry. You could buy fish on the seafront and stuff like that. It's all gone. It's very sad here. There's no industry at all here. When the fishing boats and that went, it just kind of went to the dogs, really. It's a shame. Such a shame. Oh, Rosie's left now. I think Rosie's gone upstairs. Yeah, my cousin. He must have had about 6 refills of coffee. My dad had to pay for every one. And they're not cheap over here either. I'm going to have to go and close this door. Oh my giddy aunt. Oh, Rosie, I've just shut that door. What are you doing? Where's Mama? Where's your Mama? Where's your Mummy? Where's Mummy? Yeah, I know you're beautiful. You are gorgeous. You're a lovely, lovely girl. Where's your Mama? Let's shut this door. Are you in or out? Which way are you going? Are you in or out, girl? Are you in or out? Oh, yes, I know. You're such a beautiful girl. Your grandma loves you. Make your mind up where you're going. I know, you're beautiful. You're my big girl, aren't you? Eh? Are you beautiful? Oh, yeah. You're a beautiful girl. Yes, you're beautiful, aren't you? I don't think anybody can see you. Don't think you can see her. She's by the chair. Can you see her? She's gone now. Oh. Where's Mama? Where's your Mama? Mama upstairs. Oh. She's back again. Why am I so popular, Rosie? There she is. She's a sweetheart, isn't she? You're my baby. You're my baby. You're Grandma's baby. Grandma's baby. Oh, she's off again. She's on the sofa. Oh, you pay for water, yeah. Yeah. You can ask for tap water, and you get the tap water for free. But you don't get sparkling water or anything. You have to pay for that by the bottle. Eating out in the UK, yeah, it can be quite expensive. Depends where you go. I don't think our takeaways are as cheap as yours. I don't know because I don't know the price of takeaways because I don't buy them. I know that if you ask, I mean, what did we get? We had a sandwich and a drink. I think it was about £10 something for a sandwich and a drink. Yeah. That's why we don't eat out so much. I mean, you know, meals can be really expensive over here. The fish and chips about it's about eight to £10 depending on where you go. It was cheaper at the other house, much cheaper and much better at the other house. But it was about £8, I think, for. I never used to get fish and chips though. Back at the other house, I used to get fish and peas. It was about £8, I think, something like that. But it was a big fish, big fish. It wasn't a skinny little fish. But oh, it was good. I miss that fish and chip shop. I really do miss that fish and chip shop. Here, Fleetwood, home of the fish. Rubbish, their fish and chips. And they all think it's good. Here, they go, oh, it's such a good chip shop, that. And I'm like, no, it's not. It's rubbish compared to what I'm used to. I think when you've had a good place and had a good fish and chip shop, you know, and you come down to one that's not so clever, it's like, the takeaways are not that brilliant here either. I don't like takeaways much anyway. I don't like KFC. Blech. Don't know what they do to the chicken, but Subway, not keen. Certainly don't eat pizzas. I'll eat pizza in an Italian restaurant, but I won't eat pizza from a Pizza Hut or something like that. You know, I don't like pizza. I mean, I go out. One little restaurant I go to, it's a tiny little restaurant, it's not a big fancy one. I go and I get a small breakfast sometimes, and that's about £7, I think, for a small breakfast. But it is a small breakfast, it's on a small plate. You just get one rasher of bacon, one sausage, one egg. You can either have a tomato or you can have baked beans. You get a piece of fried bread and a piece of toast. And that's about £7, I think. Obviously, I don't do it very often. If they have their fish warming, don't bother. If they cook their fish as you ask for it, it'll be okay. That's why I would never buy. Do we tip here? Yes, we do tip. You always tip the waiter, yeah, yeah. Sometimes it's added on as a service charge. In that case, no, I don't. But that does mean when it's a service charge that it doesn't actually go to the waiter. But in a lot of restaurants, they have a tip jar. And the thing is, I don't think that the waiters see that tip jar. I think it goes to the management, which is all wrong. One time, if you tip your waitress, it was theirs to keep. But then the tax office started getting involved, saying the tips were perks and they had to pay them on top of the, included in their wages or something like that. The tax office started getting involved in it. And you're thinking, my God, the kids can't, the people who are waiting on can't make a quid here and there. Tax office is like, oh, how much is it? How much gratuity? Hi, Magali. Tax office gets involved in everything, doesn't it? Let's face it. It's like me paying taxes and stuff on stuff that's why I can't order from Aishan anymore. All the VAT and the tax and the import duties and that. The postage is expensive anyway, but I didn't used to mind paying the postage from Aishan because the wool was so cheap. So by the time you added on the postage and you worked it out, it was still cheap per ball. Now it's not, because you've got your VAT, you've got your import duties, you've got your whatnot, and by the time you've finished, it's just ridiculous. Oh, the tax situation. Tax you for breathing over here. I mean, in the States, I believe you can do deductibles on your tax and stuff. We don't have things like deductibles. If you take things to a charity shop or you can get a deductible or something. There's nothing like that over here. You take it to a charity shop, it's bye-bye, it's gone. You don't get a deductible. They don't tell you what you can deduct. Oh, God, yeah. But they don't tax the big boys. The big boys get away with it because they're registered. People like Starbucks and people like Amazon and that, they're not registered in the UK. So they don't pay the taxes. They work in the UK, they sell in the UK, but they don't pay the taxes. All the big boys don't pay. They all pay. They're all registered Switzerland or somewhere like that, where they don't pay any taxes. Probably find that the politicians over here don't pay the taxes either. Yeah, these big companies have it all worked out, don't they? You get the little people. They're the ones who get stung for everything. because they're not big enough to have offshore accounts and stuff like that. I mean, over here, politicians, you know, what they get, like pensions and stuff. I mean, that Liz Truss, she was the Prime Minister for what, 5 minutes? She's in line to get, a hefty pension just because of those few days that she was in office. Oh, the NHS is on its knees over here, on its knees. They're not investing the money in it, and there's too many people using it. Too many people who don't pay into it. Not getting into the situation about illegal immigrants, because then you get told you're a racist, blah, 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 blah. But we, probably like you in the US, we've got too many illegal immigrants that get free treatment, free everything. Never paid into the system, and yet they get free healthcare, free everything. It never used to be that way. I mean, the NHS has never been brilliant. There's always been long waiting lists, but it's never been as bad as it is now. They're really under pressure. They just do not have the facilities. They don't have the staff. And if they had the staff, they don't have the hospital beds. They're on their knees. They really are on their knees. And it's a shame. And our GPs seem to be in hiding. They're using this COVID as an excuse not to see anybody. So therefore, people can't get a doctor's appointment. So they go to A&E. You know, they go to A&E with something really trivial and really small that they could see a GP for. But if they can't see a GP and they're really, really worried, where do they go? They go to A&E. It's putting a tremendous strain on the NHS. You know. I mean, I know you pay for your systems over in America, but at least you get seen. You know, when I read about people saying, oh, yeah, like I need to see an orthopedic surgeon, I'll ring up and you get an appointment that next week. I need to see an orthopedic surgeon, but I know if I go to my GP, he might refer me and I might get an appointment in about 6 months or 12 months' time. But even then, I might have to wait 5 years for an operation, you know. That's the way it was. I mean, my back, they left my back for over 5 years before they finally did the operation. And by then, I was nearly paralyzed. If they'd have done it in the first place, I wouldn't be like I am now. But no. They make you wait, they make you wait, they make you wait. Yeah, we have long, long waits for any kind of treatment, yeah. If ever I was rich, which I never will be, but if ever I was rich, I would just pay. I would pay to go and see somebody privately. I know it's wrong, and I know I shouldn't be doing it, but I would pay. If that was the only way I could get some satisfaction and some kind of treatment and some kind of help, I would go and I would pay. Yeah. I know they say money can't buy you happiness, but it can buy you a lot of medical help. Yeah, well, we have to pay. It's not a private one. We don't have any choice. We have to pay. If I'd have had the money, Amanda, I would have paid right away and gone. I wouldn't have had to wait 5 years for them to operate on my back and knacker it up. If I'd have had the op 5 years before that, I could be a completely different person now. But no, you have to wait, you have to wait, you have to wait until you absolutely cannot wait anymore. I mean, I had my operation postponed 3 times while I was actually at the hospital, ready there, ready. One time I was outside the operating theatre and they cancelled it. 3 times they cancelled it. They tried to cancel it the 4th time, but I just said, I'm not moving. I'm not going anywhere. I'm having a sit-in. I don't care if I sit in the waiting room for a week. I am not going home. And that's the only way I got my up. Oh, our doctors won't. That's why I'm changing. I'm changing doctors because our Ian's doctor seems to be marginally better than the one I'm seeing now. The one I'm seeing now, you never see them. You don't see them. They just talk to you. Yeah. Yeah, we have no choice, but we have to pay it. All the time I worked, I paid. Not voluntarily, it's just taken out. I paid for my NHS healthcare out of my wages from being 17 to retiring at 60. I have no choice in the matter. And yet it means nothing. It just, they say, oh, it costs too much, it costs too this, it costs, it's all the people who don't pay in. All the people who sponge. I have no problem with anybody who's like terminally ill or really, really ill and has never worked because of illness. But now it's the others. The others that come into the country that have never paid a penny in their life, and yet they get the same healthcare that we do. Yeah, I get bitter about it sometimes. It's back to the old days, isn't it? When I was a baby and you had to pay to see the doctor. That's how old I am. The NHS system did not come into existence until I was 4 or 5 years old. My mother had to pay the midwife for me to be delivered. You had to pay for the doctor to come. So the NHS kind of came into existence. I think it was probably in the early 50s, something like that. I may be wrong. Maybe in the late 40s. I know when I was born, there wasn't any. My brother was born. My mum had to pay the midwife. When I was born, my mum had to pay the midwife. I know that there's a lot more expensive treatment available now than what there was. But, everybody pays. People in America say, but we pay for private insurance. I'm like, yeah, well, we don't have a choice. We can't opt out. If we have private insurance here, private healthcare insurance, we pay that as well as paying the NHS. We don't have a choice. We have to pay the NHS. We can't say, no, I'm taking care of my own insurance. Thank you very much. I'm not paying in the NHS. No, you can't do that. You got to pay. Oh, over here they do that. Yeah. Well, I won't take my medications anymore now. I was reliant too much on painkillers. Yeah. The last time I saw a doctor, seen one doctor, one time since I've been here, I asked him something, which he answered me, but he didn't give me the proper answer. Then I asked him about something else, and he said, oh, you've asked me one thing, you need to make another appointment for that. And I'm like, what? I haven't been in here 2 seconds. I've not exactly took your time up. It's not been a long problem. You have to make another appointment, and you've asked me one thing, he said. Different problem, different appointment, he said. Yeah, great. I'll just go away and die, shall I? I'm just a nuisance, am I? I'll just go away and die. We were talking about this the other day. We were saying, about how many people's husbands have died before they actually ever drew any of their pension, state pension. And yet, like, we're seen as a nuisance because we're living too long. The state pension wasn't designed for people to live this long. So in other words, they want you to work, not draw any pension and just die, you know. That's what they want you to do. And oh, good night, Connie. Merry Christmas. Yeah. So, but what about all the people whose husbands and partners died and never claimed a penny of the state pension? Where did that money go? You know, government swallowed it all up. Fat cats. Don't get me started. They don't get 0%. Mm. Now, mine was a related problem, related to what I was actually asking him about, but it was a different appointment and I had to make another appointment. Yeah. I got told if I wanted that kind of medical care, I would have to pay £1,000 a month into the system. I thought if I could afford £1,000 a month, I would be going private anyway. So, he's about 35, something like that, and I'm going to sound racist here, aren't I? I don't think he's from this country. Oh, you can't report them. You just don't get seen. They just kick you off the system if you report the doctor. They'll ask you to go to another practice, which I am doing. I'm going to a different practice. My son's GP is much better. Has my dog gone again? I think she's gone again. I don't know where she is. I think she's gone again. Oh, hello. Yeah, I'm going in the new year. I've got all my paperwork ready to move. Watch Daphne's Creative Touch. No, thank you. Astrology for Christmas Day. Do I want to watch that? No. I get some really random messages. Oh, my other doctor when I lived in Prestwich was great. I admitted they wouldn't let you ask a string of different questions, but they would let you ask about 2 or 3 things while you were there. And he used to say, "Oh, how have you been? I haven't seen you for a while." Because I don't mind the doctors. I don't go very often. I only go when I have to. And he would say to me, he was a lovely young man, only in his 30s. And he'd say, how have you been? I haven't seen you for ages. Are you okay? And then one of the other doctors, I used to see him when I was out and about in the village. He'd just say, "Hi, how are you doing, John? You okay?" They knew who you were. They knew your name. They greeted you like, you were a blinking great nuisance, "Hi, John, come in. How are you? How have you been? How have you been keeping? How's the pain?" Hey, he should have won Doctor of the Year, one of our doctors. He was great, absolutely fantastic he was. And you could never get an appointment with him. He said to me, "I haven't seen you for a while." I said, "You're like God." I said, "I can't get an appointment." I said, "He's worse than getting an audience with the Pope." But he kept saying, "I'm just so popular." And I don't wonder, because he had a lovely bedside manner, He actually looked as though he was interested. Not this writing an appointment. This one I went to see, he was literally writing a prescription as I went through the door near enough, and then he did it wrong. He didn't give me what I'd asked for. I said to him, "It's on me. You can look at my records." I said, "What I've had before. I want them what I've had before." And he's like, Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. He goes, well, actually, I can't see your records. I said, why not? I thought it was all electronic. Oh, your records have not come over. He said, there's nothing on here. I don't know what you've had done. I don't know. Blah, de, blah, de, blah. So I rings my old doctors up and I said, did he send all my paperwork over? Oh, yes. Yes, we sent it all over. They've got everything. He couldn't be bothered, could he? He couldn't be bothered to look. He didn't even know I'd had a spinal operation. He didn't even know anything about me at all. Didn't know. And yet my own doctor had sent everything across. Hi, Lynn. Merry Christmas. Another half hour and it'll be Christmas Day. Here comes Santa Claus. Here comes Santa Claus. Right down Santa Claus way. It's Christmas. That's for people in the UK that know Noddy Holder. It's not Christmas until you've heard Noddy Holder singing about 1,000,000 times while you're walking around the supermarket. When you've worked at somewhere like Asda, it's like Asda Walmart. I worked at Asda part-time, as well as my own job, when I wanted extra money. And you work in there, and it's like carols and Christmas songs and Christmas songs and Christmas songs, and you get, oh God, it's Noddy Holder again. It's Christmas. Oh, they don't know anything about you. My doctor, he didn't even bother to look. You would think major spinal surgery, he would at least know that. But no. No, he didn't even know. I could have told him I'd had a lobotomy and he wouldn't have known no different. I don't know you've had spinal surgery, so I can't see it on your notes. Oh. Would you like me to tell you in great detail? I can go in great detail. I can describe it, blow by blow. I was there. I may have been unconscious, but I was there. Would you like me to tell you about my other operations while we're at it? Where would you like me to start? Would you like me to start at the room and go down? Or would you like me to start at the bottom and go up? Which one would you like me to do, dear? Have you got all day? You know, you would think that they would look at your notes and think she's never been for 2 years, so therefore she's obviously coming here with a problem. She's not here every week, on the week, every 2 minutes with my little finger hurts. Oh, I've got a sore throat. When somebody comes in and you haven't seen them for 2 years, you would think she's obviously got a problem because she's come. Yeah. Obviously. Yeah. Something wrong. Take the time to listen to this girl. But no. You feel like being a nuisance. You feel like making an appointment after appointment after appointment so that they know your face and they're sick of you. My friend used to say that. She used to say, make a nuisance of yourself because then they'll do something because they want to get rid of you. Because if you go in there every week, same problem, same problem, same problem, they then think, oh, I've got to get rid of her, I've got to get rid of her, I'll send her to the hospital, I'll send her somewhere, yeah. But she said, if you go like every 2 years like you do, she says, oh, I'll take the notice of you. I thought, yeah, you're right. They don't. Oh, dear. But I don't want another operation. I really don't, but I do need some painkillers, I think. They're not on my prescription. I don't take them. I won't take them. I don't like the fuzzy effect it gives me. I don't like the zonked out. And yet I'm stupid because I sit here and I'm in agony and I'm in pain and I will not take painkillers and I'm stupid. I think the time has come, Janet, where you just say, don't be so stupid. Just do as you're told. Go and get some painkillers, get some pain relief, get some medication. Oh, they want you to go to talking therapy. Yes. Yes, we know you've had a major spinal operation. We know your back's disintegrated, but would you like to talk about your problem? And then maybe you can distract yourself from the pain. And I'm like, you know, if you've got major pain, I don't think distraction therapy works. You know, I felt like saying, no. Distraction therapy for major pain. Are you joking? I just want to say to him, no, it doesn't work, dear, no. Just banging your head against the wall work, you know. So it gives you something else to think about, you know. Yeah. And I'm not turning to alcohol again. I did that in the past. Yeah. I mean, come on, Chris. You know what it's like to have serious, serious back pain. And they want you to have talking therapy. Talking therapy might work if you have mental issues. If you talk it over, maybe it will work, yeah. But it doesn't work with severe pain. Oh, the post office, I don't know when they're on strike. They've been on strike forever and a day. There's parcels piled up everywhere. People have not got Christmas presents. It's just a disaster. It's not just the mail. It's like whatever they call. They used to be called Hermes. They've got parcels piled up everywhere. I've been lucky. Nothing of mine is missing. But that's one reason why I've not put anything really on. I've not posted anything off, you know, not bothered selling anything I've got because there's no point. People are not going to get it. I'll wait until they settle the strike or they do what they've got to do. I'll wait while that happens. And then maybe I'll make an extra push. Have I got lipstick there? Can't I? Oh, you're talking therapy. How can you talk yourself out of severe pain if it's physical? It's not like it's mental, that you think you've got pain. You know? You either have pain or you don't have pain, you know. You get somebody, some young whippersnapper, don't you, sitting in a chair, who've obviously never had, like you say, smashed up kneecap or whatever. Have you thought about distraction therapy? Have you thought about playing music? Have you thought about reading a book? Have you thought about yes? I've thought about all of those things. I've done all those things. Did it make any difference? No. What makes a difference? A hot pad, a recliner that reclines. Do you do those on the NHS, by the way? Can I get a new recliner on the NHS? Because that's the only thing that relieves me, is get your back in a certain angle and you put a heat pad. Or physiotherapy would help. You go to physiotherapy in the UK and they tell you what exercises you need to do and they give you a bit of paper. You come out of the physiotherapist with a sheet of paper. That's the NHS physio. If you go to a physio privately, you get massage, you get all sorts of things, you get heat treatment, you get everything. But if you go to the NHS, you come out with a bit of paper. And they say, bend this way, bend that way. Just get the exercise. And you've even got little drawings, you know, like stick figures, like your three. Bend this way, bend that way, turn that way, turn that way. It'll work, I promise you it'll work. No, it won't. What a lovely subject for Christmas Eve, isn't it? Ah, yes, I got your message, darling. I did. Thank you very much, Trev. I was going to answer you after I'd done my live, yeah, but I'll answer you now. Thank you very much. Yeah. Yeah, Royal Mails with Christmas, they have, yeah. Yeah, they have. So how's our Trev? Have you recovered from all your ailments and all your whatever it was that you had? I got a key ring from Trev. So lucky. I like my little prezzies. Don't get big presses this year, but I don't care. I'm happy with my little presses. I've actually been having a tiny bit of rum and coke. And I've had chocolates. And they weren't Maltesers. They were milk tray, but we're waiting for the man dressed in black to come busting through the door. Yeah. But he's not been so far. So it's another quarter of an hour, then it's Christmas. How exciting. Have you got riotous things planned for your Christmas, Trev? Are you going to stuff your face with turkey and God knows what else? Or are you like the rest of us, not even bothered about you? We seem to have about 3 dozen mince pies. I don't even like mince pies. No, none of us are. We're all saying that on here, Trev. We're all saying we are not in the mood. Trev, Shad's moved into his tiny house. Yeah, it's minus 30. So I hope it's weatherproofed. I hope you haven't got any leaks in your roof, Shad. We're waiting for pictures. We're waiting for pictures of Shad's tiny house. So have you got all your prezzies all wrapped up, Trev? You got them all wrapped? Hiya, Ruth. Yeah, I know the feeling, love. I didn't sleep at all last night because every time I turned over, my hip hurt me. I wanted to cut it off in the middle of the night, give it to somebody else for a bit. You know, I'd just get comfy like that and I'd decide to turn over and I think, oh, what did you do that for, you fool? Yeah. Oh, another massage. Let's have a look what joyful things it is now. Oh, it says Merry Christmas. That's from somebody called Susan Fryer. Oh, the people in Mountside Crescent are going to go for... Somebody's going for a fun run and somebody's going for an open water swim on New Year's Day. Fool. Oh, and somebody's lost a parcel. Said it had been delivered. I would say we're very lucky. We haven't lost any parcels this year. One of them was 3 weeks late, but, you know, it did eventually arrive. Because I was getting a bit worried because I'd ordered some stuff from Boots's Chemist. You know, Christmas presents for people. And I thought, oh, God, it's not arrived. It's not arrived. Anyway, it did arrive just in time for my son to take to his dad. Yeah, we do send presents to each other. Sad but true. I wish we didn't, but none of us will make the break of not sending them, you know. So I thought, well, he's gonna. If he sends me a present, I want to send back to him. So I put everything away. I don't leave anything around, otherwise it'd be all around the garden. My dear, lovely Rosie, she does love her wool. See, I've nearly finished the sleeves, nearly finished them. And this wonderful chunky wool that's fallen to bits. Jingle bell, jingle bell, jingle bell rock. Jingle bells riding, jingle bell time. That's the body. The body's got stripes in. I don't know why, because widthwise stripes make you look fatter, don't they? But I don't care anymore. I don't care anymore. I've knocked the Coca-Cola over. Yeah. Well, I'm going to go when it's midnight. I still say Happy Christmas to everybody, but I'm going to go when it's midnight. We'll see if I can actually get some sleep, which I doubt very much, but oh, what now? No, somebody's still chasing the parcel. I don't think it's going to come tonight, love, unless Santa's going to deliver it. I don't think Royal Mail does Santa Claus's deliveries anymore. And I've got past the age of looking for the, the man in the sky and the reindeer, We used to have to do that every year when my son was little. He's like, oh, I can hear bells. I can hear bells. Really? Nobody else can hear bells. But it was so nice when he used to be young. When they still think about Santa Claus and they look out for him and look everywhere. And oh, God, Nella Michelle, yeah. It's not surprising. If you could see all the mail that's held up in Royal Mail sorting offices, yours is probably the bottom of the heap, yeah. See, what happens is when they go on strike, anything that doesn't get delivered goes like to the bottom of the heap, and they don't go, right, we'll get the bottom of the heap up first and we'll send that out. They're that busy, with all the newer mail that's coming in, that they never get around to the mail that's at the bottom. That's a snag, isn't it, with it? You're probably at the bottom of the pile. They might get down to the bottom of the pile in the new year sometime. You might get lucky. As I say, I've been very lucky with my parcels so far. Everything I've ordered has arrived. And I did manage to get an aero hook. Look at that, an aero. Oh! You're going live on New Year's Day. Oh, I'm going to try and watch that. Yeah. Yeah, somebody made a video, I'll tell you another time, about me stirring them. Yeah. But it backfired on them. It backfired. My loyal friends knew the truth and didn't take any notice. Don't you just love it when people try to take you on? I didn't answer. I didn't retaliate. Best thing to do, ignore them. It pees them off more if you just ignore them, because they come on spoiling, looking for a fight, calling you out, doing and the best thing to do is just ignore them, because that pees them off. They start spoiling for a fight, and if they don't get a fight, they're very disappointed, and I love to disappoint people. Yeah, you should start doing live videos. Everybody should do them. Yeah. I haven't been doing any proper videos lately because I don't feel as though I've got anything to talk about. I've had no crochet to show people. I've not bought any wool, not bought any magazines. I've not bought anything. And I feel like I'm just going on there going chat, 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 You just threw some, don't throw any more yarn in my room. I'm trying to throw it out of there, Nana Michelle. I've got so much in there already. I mean, I've got to be honest, and I've got to start thinking about the future. How long do I think I'm going to live to crochet all that stash that's in my shed? Ridiculous, ridiculous. It's time to start it moving out the other way. Yeah, not moving in. Yeah. Oh yeah, we're going to watch you. Don't forget to send me them, because I'm a bit stupid. I don't get what do they call them? Notifications. Even though I'm on your channel, and even though I press a notification bell, that doesn't mean to say I'll get a notification, Trev. I'll probably get one when you've finished. Yeah. All right, I didn't get that. I'm just going to say, don't throw any more wool in my room. Please don't throw any more. I'll throw it back. I'll throw it back, throw it back. Oh dear. Yeah, my videos are very boring at the moment because I'm not doing anything. I'm not showing anything. I'm not got anything interesting to say to you all. So I just feel as though I should make a video that I think, well, what am I going to say? You know, what am I going to tell people? What am I going to show people? I've got nothing. Nothing to show people. They'll be very, very bored. You know, I'm sure they don't want to go on there and listen to me chat. Oh, thank you. So what's knitted? You're one of my fans, you see. I'm just talking about if anybody else was passing by, they'd say, what the heck's she going on about? Waffle, waffle, waffle. I'm very good at waffle. You probably realise that by now, haven't you? Got a degree. I went to university for waffle. Oh dear. Oh, it's another 7 minutes and then it's Santa Claus Day. Or Father Christmas Day. Noel. Joyeux Noel. I don't know any more languages. I only know English and French. You haven't gone live? Yeah. It's just, I like to do my videos when there's nobody in the house, which is a bit difficult when you live with people. You know, I shut the door, try to put my video on, the dog comes in and washes the door wide open. It's not that I'm saying anything that nobody in the house could listen to. I'm not calling them names, I'm not doing anything. It's nothing that they can't listen to. But I just prefer to be private when I'm doing my videos, which is why I used to like it when I lived on my own, because I could chatter away for England when I was, you know, on my own. Plus the fact I used to crochet every day and do things every day. I had something to say. Here it's like same day, same concrete, same sea. Would you like to see a view of the sea? The tide's in today, the tide's out today. Oh, look, it's concrete. Concrete, concrete, concrete. Oh, a seagull. I'm sure you'd all get very bored. We will go now up Fleetwood High Street. Here we have a charity shop. Here we have a closed down shop. Here we have a betting shop. Here we have another charity shop. Here we have a tatty shop. Here we have a butty shop. That's what it's like on Fleetwood High Street. Here we have a panhandler sitting outside the pub shaking his tin. And you got any spare change? Hello, love. It's so thrilling around here. I shall take you up the seafront one day. I will, Chris. And you will see how flipping boring it is. There's not a tree. There's not a blade of grass. A walk-through video of Fleetwood. Oh, you'd be enthralled. You really would be enthralled. There's not a blade of grass. There's not a tree. Somebody said, oh, trees don't grow near the seaside. That's why there's no trees. Hello. There's places all over the world with trees near the sea. I'm sure Fleetwood isn't the only place that's got no trees. No trees, not a tree. There's silly bits of sculpture that are sort of bend over. You don't know whether they're lamps or what they're supposed to be. They're like that, and they've got like fingers sticking out on them. And people keep saying to me, what are they? And I'm like, I don't know. And then we've got a lookout tower that belongs to the RNLI. And some silly sod has built it sloping, so it looks like it's falling into the sea. And I show it to people and they go, is it meant to do that? Is it falling over? It's worse than the Leaning Tower of Pisa. It leans like that. It leans. When I asked the locals, I said, why did they build it like that? And they're like, we don't know. So some architect designed it to lean right over the sea. Do they get better view, like when they're leaning over? There with the binoculars, the Coast Guard. Are they looking out for rubber boats, coming in from the... I don't think they're coming across the Irish Sea, are they? We've only got the Isle of Man and Ireland, so I don't think the rubber boats come that way. I'll be the guide, I'll be going, and here we are, folks. There's a bit of concrete. And look, there's another bit of concrete. Oh, look, a seagull. Oh, look, some rocks. Oh, look, more concrete. The trip from my house to Fleetwood is the most boring. You look, you can't see the sea. It leans like that. You see it? It is a joke. It's a joke. The ferries no longer go to the Isle of Man anymore. We don't have any fishing fleets anymore because nobody would pay to dredge the channel. There was a big argument apparently many moons ago. Nobody would pay to dredge the channel. So now the ferries, there's not enough draft for them to come in because it's silted up. And that's why the fishing boats can no longer come into Fleetwood, because nobody would pay for the harbour to be... You have to desilt it, to get the channel, so that they could actually come in. So now they can't come. They have to go to Heysham now. So there's 4 little fishing boats, 4 tiny, tiny little fishing boats left in Fleetwood. That's about it. So the fishing industry, kaput. No, all gone, all gone. The only other industry we've got is a place called Fisherman's Friend. If you've heard of Fisherman's Friend, they're cough sweeties. And that's the only industry we've got in the whole of the place. It's all unemployment, poverty, deprived. It's great. Come to Fleetwood as a tourist and you'll be very, very disappointed. At least at Cleveland's, they have made a bit of an effort. If you go the other way, Cleveland's a bit more effort down there. You've got the Russell School to look at on the left. Very old boarding school type place that looks like Harry Potter lives in it. Yeah. And if you go a bit further down, you've got a cafe, and you've got Mary's Shell, which is some kind of a shell thingamajiggle. And then you've got houses on the left-hand side, and then you get to the seafront. So it's a bit more interesting. But Fleetwood, it's about 2 miles, 2.5 miles of concrete. Broken only by rocks and sea. I should promote it, bringing in investment. I think it's long, long gone. Long, long gone. If they can't invest in the people who've got money, if they can't invest in it, it's just dying on its feet. It's dying. People who were born and bred in Fleetwood say, you should have seen it like 20 years ago. You should have seen it 30 years ago. I used to come to Fleetwood when I was a kid. It wasn't like this. It was very much a tourist place. People used to come stay for holidays and stuff like that. There was things and stuff to do, and now there's nothing at all. It's just, as you said, lack of investment, lack of anybody being interested. All the big shops like Marks and Spencer's and that all pulled out. All the shops are shut. There used to be a Marks and Spencer's, there used to be this shop, there used to be that shop. Where are they now? They've all gone. All boarded up. Going down the high street, like I say, it's so depressing. They haven't even got a Poundland or anything. That's how bad it is. They haven't even got one of them. They haven't even got a B&M or a Poundland. Oh dear. It's hard to find something that I could show you that was like, oh, look at this. Isn't it wonderful? Aeromos. Oh, I've not seen that one. Not seen that one yet. Oh, have I got another one? Another annoying one. No, that's one that's missed me so far. Oh, Merry Christmas. Oh, yeah, it's 3 minutes past Santa Claus time. I'm going to go to bed now if I can get some sleep. Unfortunately, alcohol wakes me up, so I won't be going to sleep very long. I'll go and see whose vlogmases I have missed. Yeah. Anyway, everybody in here, thank you so much for keeping me company on Santa Claus Eve. And I hope you've all got loads and loads of prezzies. And I hope the man in the little black outfit comes and brings you milk tray. Although, you know, you've probably locked everywhere up, haven't you? Whatever. I don't think I'll be doing a video tomorrow. It's Christmas Day, although you don't know, I might get that bored. Hi, Shad, I love you too, darling. Where would we be without our Shad? And we do want to see a picture of your new house, your new abode, yeah. Yeah, so I hope Santa Claus brings you lots and lots of prezzies. He's not coming much to my house, but hey, what? I'm too old for Santa Claus anyway. So I shall say goodbye. Thank you, Trev, for your message to me, and I will answer you tomorrow. I won't answer you now, darling, because it's getting a bit late. So I will send you a message tomorrow while you're in the midst of your turkey. And I wish you all happy Christmas. Try and enjoy your day. Try and enjoy it. I will. Try not to eat too much. Try not to drink too much. And we shall just all be here next week. Because next week it's New Year's Eve. We can do it all again next week. And then we can say, Happy New Year when it gets to midnight. Hope you're all with me. Bye for now. See you all next week. New Year's Eve. It's a date. Don't forget. Don't be late. Bye now.